All right. Good day, you too. I know my dreads are long, waiting to get it done, so I have them up like this. I do not like style, but in any case, I don't want my hair to rip out. Here we are discussing today manhood without ego. So I'm about to turn 29 in about 11 days, and let me put it this: many people may have called me feminine a lot through my life. And I am a thinking, breathing, feeling man. I have depth to me. And that may have been where a lot of my femininity came from. Insecurity. In fact, better to put it, I held myself accountable. I could look at other men and look at myself. I really do hate this. It's been there like this for 3 days, and I can't wait to get my hair done. But I, I could look at other men and look at myself and see, okay, Blake, you are a man. Where are you coming up short? So, and I hold myself to hard, extreme, what's it called, standards. I have high standards. I really do. It's because it's standing up when it's back like that. I have high standards. And I have high ways I hold myself. So a lot of times I definitely minimize myself and I act small and I have a lot of compassion and empathy, and those kind of things I would say clouded what was masculine about me. And I think the real issue I had there is that a lot of women have crocodile tears. And me growing up, I came from two-family household, but obviously my father was working, my mother was out. So my mother would paint this picture, and then my dad was just being my dad. Whatever things that torn between us was kind of just because I was untrained. That's just the way I'm going to put it. I was untrained. I wanted to do martial arts, couldn't do martial arts. Just things that I want to do to make myself feel more secure in my own self, I wasn't able to do. Apart from that, being black in a white community was very tough. Even from growing up to second grade, just being bullied and harassed and called chocolate chip. Yeah, it may not be a big deal to me now, but when you're 6 years old, being called chocolate chip, being called black, when you damn well know what black was, and you say I wasn't black, and people were always trying to, make fun of you. And for a person who holds himself to a standard and accountability, like for my weight, being fat, that's something that's easy. Like you just say Blake is fat. And at that time, at that age, I didn't know how to not be fat. Now, my father worked 2, 3 jobs. He didn't have the time to, let's say, train me. Okay. So here I am, we're fast forwarding through life. And, I understand what masculinity is. I understand what being a man is. But more so, there's this part of the internal space that was not yet solidified, tempered. And I would say now it's definitely tempered. I definitely see what was truly weak about me. And it was actually my strength. I have a big heart, I have a lot of compassion, I care about people. And that literally was the death of me. The death of my masculinity in any case. Because trying to care about people, trying to do all those things, not that a man shouldn't, but it's more so like Jesus Christ. I would say Jesus Christ was probably feminine, But in the case that back in his day, being a man wasn't so much about how you fought or whatnot. You just had to do what you had to do. So you could still be a caring person and still be a pretty great man, nonetheless. Now, in this society, we could say masculinity, what it takes to be a man, is a lot different. And in terms of masculinity, I wouldn't say I'm like overtly masculine. I'm not so much masculine in your face, but if you want to press me and you want to come between wills, or if shit has to pop off, wow, you know, there is a man right there ready who can go down. But I'm not someone who has to be the top dog all day, every day, and put it down your throat. What I did have to do is learn how to not be moved. And that is something I have definitely struggled with. I have a lot of feelings, I have a lot of emotions, I feel things. I think the best way to overcome that is to really understand people hate themselves, so they try to hate you. And that's the truth. People hate themselves, so they try to hate you. And as for men, I I understood this with women at the very least. You know, Women will try to test you and pick at you, and that's fine. But it came to the point where there's certain kinds of men who should be, let's say, within your community or within your group, who should be trying to be comrades and camaraderie, and that just wasn't happening, and it's not happening anymore. And I mean like men coming together saying, hey, let's put some money together, let's make some business moves. Hey, let's hit the gym. Hey, let's eat right. Hey, if we're gonna party, we're gonna have these bitches. No hard feelings, bitches are just bitches. And I'm going to say it like that. I don't care, you two. Today, it's literally the the birth, the rebirth of a man. That's what today really is. Because it's not me. It's not that I've spent so much time self-hating because other people have told me to hate myself. Other people have told me that Blake, you're fat, you're dumb, you're not intelligent, they've all, I've heard it all. I've heard it all. And what I have done, I've doubled down on what they've said to combat that. So if you want to come to me and tell me I'm fat and whatnot, you can't say that. You can't say that to me anymore. I've slimmed down. You can't say I'm stupid. I'll run circles around you intellectually. Okay, you could be my equal, but you're not gonna be able to stand over me and call me stupid because no one who's my equal looks at somebody beneath them. Okay, so that's what those are some of the experiences I've experienced. I've experienced real men who seen me slack somewhere and they tried to pull me up. They say, "Hey, man, correct yourself." Uh, the sad thing is, I never really noticed this. I understood this, but I didn't understand it with my dad. I understood he was doing this. He was a dick. I understand he was being a dick because he said, "Hey, man, I'm here. I'm a man. I'm great. Why are you being this weak pack of shit? Man up." Those weren't his words, but he's a hard man. Now I didn't understand it because, well, obviously I'm looking for you as well to teach me something or that connection. Somewhere along the line, the father-son connection was broken. Right? So, and I'm going to have to hold this on the mothers, okay? Because a lot of times the mother will come and create a scenario and then put the blame on the father and completely twist the son against the father. And yes, I was definitely twisted against my father for a long time because, well, as a young age, it all sounded good, but there's no backstory. And on his part, the dude doesn't, he's not upfront about what he's doing, you know, or at least he won't sit down and explain things to me. He has never had. We never even talk about girls. It's like, so things that a father son would talk about, we just never had those kind of conversations. you know in his defense, his father died very early on, but he had elder brothers. In any case, the father son connection was broken, but because I, being an intellectual, I've taken the time to study the world a little bit, figure it out, and I understood the dynamic. So I was just trying to catch up on myself. In fact, I have to say, I have practically raised myself. Yes, I have a home, my parents are here, but as far as the internal work, I practically raised myself, and not off of ego. I think that's where I very much differ between other men. Because you could say I'm feminine, you could say what not about me. But anything I do, I don't run off my ego. So that's why I may seem feminine, because I'm real about myself. I'm humble about myself. So it seems like I'm feminine because I'm compassionate or empathetic. Okay. But for me, that's what a real man should do. Okay. One, you create the kingdom and you make sure you protect the kingdom. Okay. So so yeah, I just had feelings. And I thought other people had feelings too, in the sense that people actually wanted to do good in the world. Like, if someone says something to me, I figure they're saying it because I actually am doing something wrong. But in fact, they're just saying something to you to just fuck with you. Not even just getting this under your skin. Not even like when guys tease you to say, hey, ha, ha, or ha, ha, ha. I didn't realize that. I figured when a guy, like, I had this really good friend of mine, Salem. I used to have much, I used to be fat, so I had like man tits at the time. Every time I get into the car, he'd hit my man tit, okay? Saying hello. So for me, in any case, I'm like, well, Blake, if you're insecure about it, start working out more. Okay, so I started working out more. I was insecure about it, so I started to work on it. That's the kind of man I am. But there are some things that's just out of my control. Like right now, I'm 28, about to be 29, and I'm not as wealthy as I should be, or at least I don't have the monetary value, the monetary value to reflect the wealth that is in me. You know what I mean? So that's not something I control, but that's something I still beat on myself pretty hard about. I'm not gonna get into so much about that, but man, we have to have a certain amount of self-love for yourself. And this whole world wants you to hate yourself, you know. And I, for one, didn't want to be on false bravado. If I walk around and feel like a king, that's because, I got some king in me. That's because I truly feel that way. That's because I'm truly walking on that. You know, if you ask me, why do I think like I'm a God's gift to women? It's because I'll tell you why I think I'm a God's gift to women. In fact, I'll address that right now. One, I'm loving, compassionate. You bring the right kind of woman, she would be blessed to have me. Why? I love my family. I love my mother. I have sisters. Okay, I have a sister. I have a bunch of female cousins. I work hard. I'm entrepreneurial. I'm trying to make a business. I'm trying to make big moves for my life. But unfortunately, my compassion and empathy for the world has kind of slowed me down. Has definitely slowed me down. Um, I'm not too greedy. That's the thing. Like, you know, I don't have a lot of cardinal desires. Yeah, I like sex, but money is not really something. I'm not really materialistic. you know. So all the things that would really show a masculine man, that's just not me. I'm more of a masculine man in a mental space. I like ideas. I like science. I like debating. I love sports. Don't watch. I prefer to play. Um, I'm also theatrical. I'm intellectual. So that's where my issue is that intellectual was taking on the emotions. Okay, so as the mind is trying to burrow through these emotions, it didn't know how to. That's the honest truth. And I have a vast mind, and it takes on certain things it just didn't need to take on, and I didn't know. I didn't have to take that on. You know, like life just comes. I would just burrow through life. If life comes, I have to take it. So I try to take it like a man. But one of the good things about a man, any good man, or even a knight, because I think I heard this as a Knight's Tale. Who's that guy with Keith Ledger? That it's not cowardly to retreat. To retreat. It's not cowardly to retreat. In fact, it is wise. And that is something I probably have to work on, is retreating, not answering to stuff. Because people will say something to you, They just want to get a reaction out of you. What I truly have to definitely work on is making silence my greater reaction, and that's what has to be, because a lot of things piss me off. I'm a genuine dude. I like shit to roll smoothly. There are things that you just gotta do. Like a mom and dad should fucking work together. Okay. Now, women, I don't know what they're smoking that they think that there are no accountability and there's no responsibility for them. And at first, I used to blame the men. The men were just fucking around. The men were just not caring about their families, because that's the story that a lot of us were given. That it's the dad who was just screwing around. But in reality, I'm not sure if I could take that as truth anymore, because as we see now, the women just don't care about anything. And I see men actually really do care about stuff. Like in any case, that we really do care about stuff. Men care. Women do not care. Okay, that's the weird thing about the world that I definitely come to understand. Women do not care. They're emotional, but they don't care. Men care. Men actually give a damn. You know, it's a family to a man. It's not just this playhouse. That's what it is to a woman. It's just a playhouse. You can just switch pieces out, and it makes no difference to them, as long as they feel how they feel like they want to feel. You know, and that's silliness. I don't know when that started. At some point in history or whatnot, women stopped feeling their fulfilling their obligation. You know, and they started expecting more. And I never bought into that bullshit. And I think that's what's actually, see, like I said, I am quite masculine. I just feel, you know. And now that I've come to this point, I'm such a dangerous man, and I mean more so, as in, ladies, they don't know what they're gonna do with me now, because I was already a compassionate man. I was already a full-hearted man with a lot of intellect. It's just that um, I didn't know you don't have to feel. I didn't know I had a choice not to feel. I'm serious. At 29 years old, I did not know. Things were just coming. You just had to deal with life and get through it. I thought people just deal. I thought this whole time I've been incredibly weak. I thought this whole time I've been so weak. This whole time, my whole life, I've always been thinking, I must be weaker than everybody to feel all these things and to feel so beat down by them. You know, I must be incredibly weak. But that's not the case. In fact, the case is that I'm taking on too much. I'm taking on things that ain't got nothing to fucking do with me. I'm here. I don't know why God made me feel this way, to feel like I'm here to heal everybody and take on everyone's trauma and do alchemy on it. But that's not my purpose. You know, that's really not. And that's what's been holding me back. You know, and it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. I'm a little bit ashamed of myself, but I'm proud of myself, because I have a lot of heart. I've guts. Listen, despite whatever, the only thing feminine you can say about me is that Blake has feelings. And it's not that you're gonna hit me and cry. It's just like, for example, there's one guy who I thought we were friends. Well, we weren't exactly friends when we first met, but let's say, I'll just tell the story. So I don't even know how we were. We kind of hung out, we did some shit, whatever. But one day he comes to the bathroom in the library, and he attacks me in the bathroom stall in the library. He gives me three good punches, and then I just kind of look at him. So he's looking at me like, holy fuck, I just hit this dude three good solid punches, and he's unscathed. He's not moved. The only thing I'm thinking is like, whoa, dude, why are you attacking me? Like, I'm taking that personally. Like, I thought we were cool. Why are you attacking me? So me, I'm coming like a friend. I'm like, yo, you know what I mean? But him, he's just another dude. He's like, I don't know whether it's his dominance or whatnot. I didn't know that, you know. So and for me, I was tired of fighting by the time I got into middle school. Okay, I've been fighting kids since like second. Listen, I've been fighting for so long. So it's like I comes to a point where you're just like, hey man, you are outnumbered. Okay. Not only have I been fighting for so long, I've been fighting outnumbered. Okay. I used to have to run home from elementary school because the kids would chase me. Okay. I was kind of like the only black kid in the area. Kids would chase me. I was smart in school. They didn't like that I was smart, so they beat me up and said, "Oh, you think you're smart?" Blah blah blah. Okay. In fact, the one or two, three friends I had couldn't be friends with me publicly because when they did, they got abused. So that's the kind of sick mentality that's running around this place. So I go to Africa. You know, it's not really the kind of fights I'm having. These are just like disagreements between men. A little bit of turf wars. You know, because we were young. You know, I'm not talking about some real gang bang shit. But kids from the other cul-de-sac had to face kids from this cul-de-sac. So that was me. So I come back. I'm like, okay, I come back to America. It's middle school. I'm like, okay. I'm like, you're back here. You know you're outnumbered. Lay low. I didn't realize by deciding to do that, I had really put myself in a position to let people think they had dominated me. Or to let people think they were more feminine or masculine than me. I figured it's better to just be covert. Get to because at that stage, your body's still going to mature. I figured work your mind. That's what I was taught, to work my mind. Your body is going to catch up. But the sad thing is, I wasn't taught certain disciplines and certain stoicism, stoicism, stoicisms, philosophies. So that's unfortunate. That's just an unfortunate loss. But in any case, no, I'm serious. I'm very serious. I'm not. It's just kind of draining, and now I'm just to the point where you know they'll say that men are misogynists, but it's not that I'm misogynist. It's just that you don't hold your words as you don't respect things that we respect. Like men understand, hey, we can have a debate and some shit, but there's some shit we're not gonna say because we know that can pop off. You know, as men, we understand that. So for the most part, I live fight because you did something. Trust me. If I'm in a fight, I'm defending somebody or defend myself. I'm very rarely an attacker. And the only person I've ever attacked was probably my dad, and that's because I was angry, man. I'm angry because the man didn't understand me, and there ain't no other man in the world you're going to deal with apart from your father to understand me. And it wasn't even an attack. We just kind of wrestled. I'm not one to throw punches. If I throw a punch, I don't like to fight. If I fight you, I'm probably going to end up ending your life. I don't have that kind of self-restraint to just give you two or three punches and let you be. So I don't like to fight. I really don't. So having that in me, I guess that's another point. Being a man, you may not understand the titan that's inside you, and having to harness that titan energy can be scary, especially when you already had willed it at such a young age, and then you're growing up and you just don't want to turn into a monster. And it's sad because you have the rest of the world telling you you are a monster, telling you that you are dangerous, you are vile, you are evil. You have no choice but to keep self ridiculing yourself, self analyzing, self sacrificing yourself. Okay? That I literally had no, because I'm looking at me like, well, you're saying this about me. Why are you saying this about me? So I have to like, okay, maybe if I make myself smaller, people will stop being more threatened. But then people keep pushing you. keep poking you, keep bullying you. And then when you finally snap, they're like, oh, he's dangerous. So it's honestly, there is no right answer. I would say be a dick. And I don't just mean be a dick. I mean, just don't care. Stick with your principles and everything else. Just don't care. And I'm sorry, ladies. I'm very sorry. You have lost the table to talk. I'm not saying I don't respect your opinions. I'm not saying I won't value what you have to say. I'm not saying we're not even equals. I'm just saying that I don't hold your word as value to when a man speaks. And I think I was this way maybe 3 years ago. I was saying it just as a joke to women, like, hey, I know you said that, but go bring your man, let him talk. Because I know you're talking, but go bring your man, let him talk. But now at this point, it's really more like, okay, yeah, you're talking. I don't want to talk to you. Go bring your man. Let him talk. If he has something to say, let him talk. Because you're going to say anything. You're going to run your mouth and you will lie. You will stab me and then accuse me of stabbing you, and I'm the one who's bleeding. It's on video and everything. You will still go to the courtroom and look at the judge. Your Honor, he stabbed me. There's literally a video of you stabbing this gentleman. So this is the craziness. So I would just this is the rebirth of a true man. And I don't just mean an alpha or a sigma. I mean like a king, a conqueror, an negus, niggas. I've been here this whole time, but I didn't realize what I was really missing. And what really makes me so not but she would have been my wife. And because I had this emotional unintelligence, that that kind of cost me. And because people were just fucking with me. It's one thing you tell me Blake is this or Blake is that, but you're just constantly you want to fuck with me. And I have to take. There was a point in time where a woman would say, "Hey, husband, you are doing this. You need to stop that." And the husband should take the advice from his woman and say, "Okay, woman, I hear you," and he will work on himself. Okay. There was a time where there was that quality of a woman where she can criticize you, and the criticism is real. But now there's a criticism that this is just for fun. And a man has too much going on in the world to just be dealing with this chick who wants to just fuck with him for fun. And that's the annoying part. That's the annoying part. To be honest, I took this chick and not just like just I like the girl. I was trying to build a business. I was trying to build a legacy. I explained this to her. But her single mother is a little bitter, lonely, and she just ran this whole campaign to destroy me. In any case, I thank them for rooting out whatever is weak out of me, because this is what this whole process has done. It has removed anything that is weak from me. But what it's also done has made women so indisposable, because at this point, what are you the real meaning that a woman can't really add anything to a man's life is real. It's real. You know, all she can do is shut the fuck up and serve. That's the sad reality. And my little sister may not like it. She may say I'm a misogynist asshole, but hey, I'm older than you, and two, you are a profound liar. Okay, so if your words have no standing, why should I listen to you when you talk? You know. In any case, this is definitely a rebirth of a man and the rebirth of a king. This is a phoenix rising. This is really what that is. So I may have a lot of tender, empathetic, compassionate parts of me, and I do. I can't deny that part about myself, Because in fact, that's what we get a lot of these men who are overly egotistical, overly macho masculine, who have to feel like, oh, I gotta be this big tough guy, like these people who have Aries in their placement, who they feel like they have to conquer everybody, stuff like that. I'm not like that. Listen, I'm just in charge. In any case, I'm in charge of myself. If my ideas are good enough, they will be taken. So I push myself to be one whose ideas are going to be taken. So it's not like I'm trying to dominate the room, I just do. And I used to get attacked for that, and I didn't realize why. Sometimes it's because I'm a little aggressive or I'm assertive. When you're just having an argument or a discussion or a debate, and you're just giving up these lame ass things, nah. It comes to a point I'm just like, no, fuck you. You're lying, you're wrong, you're bullshitting. And yeah, I would get mad. But I have to understand now, because my uncle told me, my uncle explained it to me, they're just gonna try to make you mad. And I didn't fully understand that. I thought, maybe the court was just trying to make you mad, but no. This is everybody in life. Everybody just wants to make you mad, wants to get under your skin. I have to say, thank God to my father and uncle. Because I would say, I mean, these guys tried to bring the best out of me. And I hope other men, if you get the chance to train your sons, train them well. Because I'm going to go back and fight for my son. So he doesn't have to go through this long process that I've gone through to try to reclaim not just my masculinity, but to honestly find the man that's me. I knew who I was. I knew one, I wasn't a bitch. Listen, I don't have any negative connotations of myself. Okay. I just had to struggle finding that concrete definition of my own masculinity. You know, like I was on the phone with my aunt. She called me. She's like, "Oh, Blake, you sound good for you sound like a white man. Why do you sound like a white man for? You talk so good." And then honestly, she's trying to mess with me. But then I said, you understand that we taught them our language, right? Like we created these languages that they are using. So when you say that I talk to the white man, I'm just talking. And then she goes, "Oh, okay, okay. I'm not going to make fun of you. I'm not going to mention your speaking again. I don't have time for that. So that's what I really don't have time for. You know, um, I guess I was just raised with the mentality that yeah, there's some girls you fuck, and there's some girls you marry, and I figured the girls who want to get married would, yes, there's that test, they test you, but at some point you gotta understand, okay, be about the mission, okay. And I think why I fell short in that is because I was compassionate. I was compassionate. Okay, it comes to a point where you can't just be this bully. That's the thing. That's what I heard the women's cry. I've been listening to them cry and moan since I was till today. I've heard it all. I've heard it all. Okay. I've gone to blaming the man, blaming the woman. I've seen every aspect of the situation. It all comes down to it. She doesn't really care. She's just emotional. Men really care. We can't be emotional. Thus, we can't actually really care. Like you can love your woman. That's what it keeps saying. You can love your woman, but the second you fall in love with the woman, it's done. Okay. And I guess that's why she does things to make you hate her or be detached to her, so she can come back and be, oh, but that's not going to work, or at least to come back. I mean, I'm deep. I'm spiritual. You know, I don't like to bang a lot of girls because I value my energy, or at least a fucking girl, because I understand she takes whatever I give her and she multiplies that. So just these concepts that aren't kept up these days. I think that's really messed me up. And as a man, I definitely have to hold myself to a high caliber. I have to definitely defeat that sex drive I have. Not so defeat, but put a real leash on that. So I can truly attract the woman who's going to come here, submit like she should, be a princess or a queen to a king, and I mean, and be also that harlot to a king. What I'm looking for is some straight up loyalty. Okay, I mean, I need a chick who's going to not just shoot for me, not just kill for me, but I mean a chick who understands that she may have to take an L for me. And I don't mean because we're trying to screw her over. I mean because she understands it is more important to protect the king. Okay? Any woman who does not get that it is more important to protect her man. And that's where a lot of things fell short. You know, I know the girl I had was cool, and I think she's just afraid because what her mother had told her about men. And that's the cruelest thing ever. Her mother gave it a lot of bad men. And I don't want to put that on me. But I come from a good family. We don't beat women. We don't do those kind of things. Worst thing I can say about myself is that I yell. I have not I yell. But I have to learn and master silence. I have to learn and master walking away. Walking away doesn't mean you lost. Because women, and that was also my problem. Because women think that because they out argue you, they won the argument, and that's our problem because they want to be equal. Okay, so in any case, you have to. There has to be a thing here. If you want to be equal, okay, it's not going to be physically. It's not within the mental space, and they want to be women and equal at the same time. And I'm not trying to say this because I'm a misogynist, but a real woman is not equal to a man. In fact, let me better off say this. Real men are not equal to women. Okay? I've never seen a real man birth a child. I've never seen a real man lactate and feed a baby. I've never seen a real I've never seen a real man have a period. Okay? So we can't say real men don't cry because we are living, breathing, feeling beings. So I don't put it like that. In fact, you know, a psychologist told me it is good for you to cry. It is strength in between that pain. Okay, men who don't know how to cry, that they say that's a weak man, and I'm not going to deny that. I'm not. I don't think I'm weak. I cry. You know, if shit, life gets tough, man. I have to sit down, and have myself a good cry real quick, so I don't kill nobody. So I don't go out and snap necks because you have all that rage in you. But no, my eyes just teaching. I'm not crying. It is a good video, so I do wipe my tears to that. But in any case, that's just it. So you should definitely check me on Facebook, Blake Cadet, Nia Yell, Healing Hurts, Social Wealth Nights. I've many different platforms. I'm very happy to make this video to tell you that I am being reborn, and I'm a Pisces, a Capricorn Moon. So you see, I got two feminine predominant energies, but my rising is Gemini. So I have that duality. Okay. So in any case, I am masculinely mental. I'm mentally masculine. I just all got all these other fucking energies running it through me so I don't destroy the world. Because if I wasn't so compassionate and empathetic, all the mean things that have happened to me, which were predominantly done by white people, I would have delivered it back to them. And what kind of person would I be? You know, I'd be in jail. I'd be a murderer. That's not me. That's not the kind of man I am. I mean, I'm not talking about killing somebody. Now, you kill somebody, that even that's combat. That person probably came to me, and he tried to kill me or someone in my family, and I had no choice to defend myself and my family. But I'm not a murderer in the sense of I will go find somebody and attack them and kill them. That's not what men do. That's why murder is a crime, but death by combat is not. Okay, so I'm very pleased. I'm very pleased. You just don't need to care. And it's not even that does not even need to care. It is true, really deeply true. A woman's opinion doesn't even fucking matter. You know. So going forward, man, I'm building myself a life where I'm gonna have everything for myself. And if a woman wants to come into my life, we're gonna create a separate estate. Okay. So she's gonna have to invest into the estate. So when she wants to blah 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 her mouth, I said, okay, well, peace the fuck out. We can have kids. I still want to have a family. I'm not afraid to have a family. It's just how you set it up. So she wants to come. She wants to come play. She be here. We'll save money. Get another estate, a real estate property. Okay. She wants to have kids, but I've already paid my child support. There's the property right there. It's in my name. I'm not going to put it in her name. Okay. Why would I put it in her name? Why? It's just we're just eliminating the bullshit. I'm gonna have multiple wives, many children. I know it. I'm a new man has been remolded, and the truth is that even though we are equally legally, we are not equal, and it's not like we that's anything new. It's just that just don't care, you know, don't care, and I feel guilty saying it. I do because I guess I went to Africa and I saw a lot of people suffering. I saw a lot of people suffering. I was like 8, you know. I saw death, famine, poverty. So I came back. I said, okay, well, I want to come learn so I can help people. But all that really brought me was people who wanted to take advantage of my kind nature. Because I would think there would be more people who want to help the world. That's what I thought. I really thought there are more people who get up trying to make the world a better place. But the sad thing is people are truly selfish. Nobody wants to do that work to make the world a better place. People actually would prefer to burn Christ at the stake. They've done it before. So this is me saying, I refuse. Okay? I refuse. I will not be a martyr. I will and am being reborn as an avenger. Okay? Someone who defends, protects, and maintains. I'm very proud. This is Miael, who was formerly Blake Michael Cadet. Thank you for watching.